Tonight, a modern-day look at the centuries-old tug-of-war between progress and preservation.
CBS 2's Jessi Mitchell looks at the ways countries like Tanzania can develop opportunities for people while protecting wild spaces.
No worries remains the real-life motto in the land of the Lion King. While Timon and Pumbaa roam on protected government property, Tanzanian people living in poverty get creative to make ends meet. Safari guide Otto Malanda says humans here learn a lot from the lion about the importance of partnership.
They put everything together, the effort together to get something, and once they get something, they share.
Spice tours on Tanzania's island of Zanzibar show how locals utilize every natural resource available.
It's like a local bandage.
Band-aid, yeah.
Or plaster. So after a few days, the wound is closed.
Some of these men might make $1 a day, depending on tips from tourists and sharing what they need with each other. On the mainland, the road to the Serengeti remains paved by nature, but animals aren't the only inhabitants. Hillsides dotted by huts mark where members of the Maasai tribe live with their own cattle alongside wild herds, helping patrol for poachers. This unique allowance shows one of many efforts underway to solve the problems of today.
They're employed by the government, and our government is trying to give them a lot of the money, a lot of accessories.
Summer 2022 marked the start of a 5-year sustainable development plan to achieve 17 goals identified by the United Nations, focusing on conserving the landscape, enabling healthier lives, and strengthening livelihoods. UN resident coordinator Zlatan Milicic says Tanzania has already made farther advancements in these commitments than neighboring countries.
This is one of the governments on the continent which is really investing visible resources to some sort of socio-economic development of the communities.
Women collecting seaweed on the shores of Zanzibar show one example of enhanced gender inclusivity in the workforce. Opening opportunities for girls of the next generation is among the top priorities. While a stable society allows for these advances, Tanzania's tourism drives the efforts and the entire economy.
Industrialization is important and needed, but it doesn't come without certain costs, especially costs to the environment.
Milicic says 70% of recent natural disasters in Tanzania were caused by climate change. That's why activists around the world are working to find new ways to solve this global crisis.
Payment referrals for countries that are hit by climate disasters, or payments for losses and damages that are being discussed from richer countries to poorer countries. These are really important new ways of thinking.
Dr. Annaluz Porsakanski directs the American Museum of Natural History's Center for Biodiversity and Conservation, which encourages visitors to care about their impact on animals.
When we talked about herds, we used to think about these kinds of herds, but now we think about ourselves, humans, as herds. And I think the ultimate herd immunity really comes from addressing social development, health, and environmental concerns together.
Building a future involves all of us, just as these wild landscapes support life in so many ways.
But something that a lot of Americans come and see and visit, and they're also part of our culture. So why not protect it? It's much cheaper than many other things that we're investing our resources in.
Protecting the planet as a global community.
So I wanted to focus on the people as well as the animals. You know, I spent the past 2 weeks talking about animals, but the people are doing really great things there as well.
Amazing stuff there, Jessi. So without traditional income, you touched even that some people make $1 a day. How are these people able to survive?
Well, Tanzania is a largely tribal society. Still, one of the largest tribes is the Maasai that I mentioned in the stories. You can see in this video, they have their iconic blankets. Everybody kind of recognizes those blankets. They sell those, and so they do get some income that way. They also offer their services. They're known to be protectors and bodyguard types. They're tall. They know how to wield their staffs, and so they make some money that way. And then the young people, they get creative. They offer their services in the way of entertainment. So kids go out and do tricks and dance together and do stunts, and so they get creative. That's for sure.
A trip like this can be life-altering for a lot of people who take it. What was your biggest takeaway?
Well, as someone from the African diaspora, it was my first time in Africa, and that's obviously very powerful. But it also just reminded me of my sense of gratitude. We have so much here in America, and to be able to see what other people live like and how they adapt to the world around them and appreciate the world around them is really special.
Yeah, they make do.
Absolutely.
Fascinating stuff. All right, Jessi, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you can see all of Jessi's reporting from Tanzania in a special called Global Community Protecting Our Planet on our streaming channel, CBS News New York.